What's up, guys? It's Big Boss Billy. All right, time for my next strategy video. In this one, I'm going to start off like 6 or 7 different games and just analyze the starting position. Should I move my settler or should I settle in place? What do the resources and terrain around me tell me about how good of a start this position is? What are some of those things to think about when you start off a game and are trying to figure out where to settle? And don't exit this video before the end. The very last scenario I analyze is at least a 9 out of 10, maybe a 9.5, and I think I found the new resource that's as good or better than salt is in Civ 5. All right, in this case I rolled Russia, and this one's going to be important because Russia's unique ability, Mother Russia, does affect my starting position strategy. I get plus faith and plus production from Tundra. So Tundra is definitely going to be a lot more interesting to me because I've happened to roll Peter than if it were any other civilization. Additionally, I also have extra territory when founding cities. So that means I can settle more than one tile away from some good resources or some high yield tiles or some wonders and still get the benefit of those tiles. Interesting. So it's not showing the production yield yet. I probably have to found my first city. So the important thing to note is that all these tiles are going to have one extra production. Now it's pretty flat land, which isn't great, but I've got some mountains. And again, mountains are great in Civ 6 because of their adjacency bonuses for both campuses and holy sites. Now I want to move my warrior in a direction that's going to give me the most information possible. I'd love to know how these mountain ranges look. Although I can only move 2 tiles in this direction. I can't get up on any of these hills, unfortunately. So honestly, moving in this direction isn't going to give me any new information. So let's just go this way. Not much new there. So you're definitely constrained in Civilization 6 to fresh water. It's going to take a lot for me to ever settle away from fresh water. So right now, I think this starting position is going to be about the best I get. Now you can see the extra production and faith. So I'm glad I've got this much Tundra. This is actually a pretty dang good starting position for Russia. Got 3 luxury, tobacco and silk or luxury resources, as well as a bonus resource. Where's this getting culture from? Oh, I guess the silk gives it culture. Cool. So I would rank this start from 1 to 10. Probably 7 or 8. I think this is very strong. Given the fact that I'm Russia and I have so much Tundra tiles, I would like to see a little bit more hills for production and maybe, yeah, so I've got holy site or campus positions here. Yeah, so I'm going to give it a 8. No, I'll give it a 7. All right, this time I got France. Nothing too important to consider based on my starting location, except the chateau does need to be built next to a river. So I'll consider that, but a river is such a high priority anyways, I don't think it's really going to affect my rating of a starting position. Oh, look at this Tundra. Oh, this flat Tundra. Silk and wine, 2 rice. So I'm going to move in a direction that's going to give me the most visibility. Oh my gosh, this is absolutely horrible. I would be really screwed if I had to accept this as a starting location. Wow. So due to how shitty it is, I definitely need to be on the freshwater. Here, 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 or here. So the question to me is whether or not I'm going to move to this spot. Where's the edge of the map here? Oh, I can't tell where the edge of the map is. I think I have to just settle right where I am. It's horrible. Maybe some hills, maybe something good over here, but it's likely, it looks like I'm in the south and there's only going to be more Tundra down this way. Wow. Okay, we got some trees. So I don't know if there's a better spot up here because we have no fresh water. So I really think I settled in about the best place I could. Oh, so bad. Yeah, this is going to have to get a 2. It's really hard to imagine a worse start than this. I mean, if I had no fresh water, maybe. Yeah, I personally pride myself on playing any game I start. I don't like to re-roll just to get a better start, but this is one that would definitely try me. I would heavily consider restarting this one because I would not be in for a very good game. In multiplayer, I would be furious. I'd be so screwed. They really should code it so that you don't spawn immediately on Tundra. I'm okay if you spawn next to Tundra, but spawning on Tundra is too much of a handicap. Okay, in this case, I'm Rome. The only thing that Rome has that would affect my starting location is the bath is a little bit more overpowered version of the aqueduct. Gives me a little bit extra housing. I honestly don't know whether that would shift me to be more willing to settle off of fresh water. If you settle off of fresh water as a normal player, an aqueduct is so critical anyways, even if it's not a bath. So honestly, I think I'm still going to prioritize fresh water. In fact, it makes the bath even a little bit better as Rome because you get the extra +2 even if you're already next to fresh water. Cool. All right, we're starting next to fresh water. Again, fresh water is going to be the most critical thing. It's just so critical to get rid of that housing cap early on. We see mercury within our borders. We see silk over here. We've got a couple high yield locations. This one's great. So again, in Civ 6, anything on top of a vanilla tile only adds yield to it. So when you add woods to a tile, it adds 1 production. If you add a hill to a tile, it adds another production. We've got this regular plains tile, which is 1 food, 1 production. Adding hills adds another one, and adding woods adds an additional production. So when you start off, you really want to see full tiles. You either want them to have hills on them, you want them to have wheat on them, you want them to have trees or rainforests on them. Those are all good things. We can see here the sheep adds 1 food, whereas the hills adds 1 production. So I think what I'd love to get is a little bit more view over here, but again, the only thing I could do is move up onto this hill. Yeah, I think I'm going to do that with my warrior. Okay, so we're near a coast. That's great information. That makes this even better. If I can build a harbor, I'm going to be happy. So right now, there's no coast locations within 3 tiles of my capital. I'd like to move 1 tile to the left in order to get access to a harbor. If I move here, I'm going to have access to some unknown tiles up here. If I move here, I lose access to this mercury, but gain access to some tiles down here. If I move here, I lose access to this silk, but some invisible tiles down here. So given that, I think I'm going to move 1 tile to the west. I don't want to settle on the woods. I'd rather keep the woods there as a good tile to play off the bat, and I don't want to settle on the wheat. So let's go right here. I think that would be my decision. And I was actually standing on woods, which I didn't realize. So this even more confirms my decision to move 1 tile to the right. Awesome. We got some bananas. This is a great tile for a campus. Well, you get 1 adjacency bonus from the 2 rainforests and another one here. So this tile is just as good. I think this is really a pretty good starting location. I moved away from the copper. So my starting point was adjacent to the copper, but there's no way I could have known that. I think I'm still happy with my decision. Got these great high yield tiles all around it. So it's working the one with 2 food, 2 production. Yeah, this is a great start. There's some great places to expand over here. I bet this is a peninsula. Yeah, I'm going to give this start. This is a great tile within range. I'm going to give this start a 7. Okay, so I got Rome again. Oh, Tundra again. So I'm putting these map settings on shuffle so far. So that may result in a higher variability in the quality of these starting points. I might be getting some really crappy ones and some really good ones. I'll probably switch to continents in a minute. So Tundra is pretty bad. The 2 silver tiles also pretty bad. You know, gold is the worst type of yield. You'd much rather have more food or production, especially for the early game. Now it's not looking too bad up here. Question, of course, is which way to move. You're usually going to want to move away from your settler. By having to move 1 tile into where your settler is, you know, your settler's already giving some visibility here. So I'm going to move probably to this tile here. I don't know. I don't really want to see more tundra. So actually, I'm going to move up here to this hill. I should get some good visibility on this direction. Okay, so we're seeing a little bit more promising tiles up this way. I like these wooded hills. It's very strong. If there's another mountain over here, that'd be great for some better location for holy site or campus. So I want to move. I'm not going to settle on these sheep. So I'm probably going to move right here. I could also move this way to get more visibility there. 1, 2, 3. But then I'd be out of range of these 2 wooded tiles. So I'm going to move this way. All right. Not much more promising over this way. You know, you could... You know, Tundra's not too bad if you're going to end up placing your wonders and districts on this side, because you really don't care about the yield when you've replaced your tile with a wonder or a district. So it's not too bad to have a few of these wasted tiles. You know, I'm going to be working these tiles up here, which are pretty healthy. Also, I didn't notice I've got a harbor location here. So this isn't too bad. You know, I can put up with this. I'm in range of 1, 2 luxury resources, and a bonus resource, another bonus resource, another bonus resource, and 4 different bonus resources. Now, the identity of the bonus resources doesn't matter. It simply determines whether you build a farm, a mine, or a pasture there. Cattle are nice. It lets you build the Great Zimbabwe. Okay, so I've changed my opinion about this start. This tundra is not swaying me very much anymore. I'd like a couple more mountains. You know, I'm not going to have any huge adjacency bonuses for my holy site or campus, but I'm going to give this start a 6. All right, Germany. The only thing I'm going to be thinking about here is the Hansa. That gives me extra adjacency bonuses to production for adjacent resources or other districts. I mean, maybe it'll slightly prioritize places with a few resources all next to one another. Probably won't be a big factor. Okay. So this is very interesting. I'm seeing very few resources, just ivory and wheat, but I like the hills and mountains. You know, those are things I really prioritize. Unfortunately, my warrior doesn't have very many places to gain visibility. It can either move out this way to see what's up there, here, the hill to see what's up there, or this way to get a better view over there. I think I'd really like to see over that way. A goodie hut, but nothing else particularly promising for settlement. I might actually move my settler here. I'm going to gain some visibility. I can always move back if I want to. Yeah, let's do it. Okay. Of course, I'll start near Tundra again, but man, the amount of resources here is pretty low. So this is a gamble I took to move this way to get some better visibility. Now I'm wishing I had stayed there. I really think that this is just the best starting spot. The question now is, do I waste a turn moving back? I could settle here right now, or I could move back and wait a turn to settle. Settling here versus here gains me nothing that I can see. It might gain me something over this way. Because I like the extra turn, moving back, it just gains me a lot more of these hills and potential places next to mountains. But just for the gamble, I'm going to settle right here. Saves me a turn, and we'll see what's over this direction. Okay, we've got stone. More stone, but that's out of range. This stone would have been in range even from my starting. Oh, no. So I gained this stone. That's about it. Okay, I'm not too disappointed with saving a turn by taking that gamble and choosing to move. Yeah, nothing else much good. Not too bad, though. All in all, I'd say this is not the best. These hills are good. The mountains are good. So I'm going to give it a flat 5. I think it's about an average start as I could hope for. Let's look at the yield. Yeah, no huge yield tiles. This tile's a great tile. So it looks like the Ivory Camp adds 1 production and 1 gold compared to the default hill. All right, let's try Fractal this time. All right, this time I got Greece, Gorgo particularly. Let's see what the Acropolis does. Okay, the Acropolis. So higher adjacency bonuses, a full single bonus from each adjacent district, including the city center, and it gets an extra one from the city center. It can only be placed on hills, so that's important. So we want a hill next to our city center. This is going to be a really important one to remember. So this is an okay one. I could build it right here. I wouldn't want to build it and eliminate my cattle. But a hill next to a mountain is also potentially taking up a spot from my holy site or campus. Holy site or campus could also go here, but that's farther away. So it's a bit tricky, but you know, again, I don't think I mind Tundra as much when I've still got some good high yield tiles up here, because it just gives me places to put my districts and my wonders. This is a great looking tile right there. I like that. So we've got lots of high yield tiles right to start off with. We've got a harbor city. We've got enough hills for production. I think this is a little bit better than normal, given freshwater, a good spot for the Acropolis, which is such a powerful district. I'm going to give this starting location a 6 or 6.5. Okay, one more, and I get Greece again. This time I get Pericles, who has a different ability here, but still the Acropolis is the same unique district as Gorgo. So again, I'm going to be looking for a hill immediately adjacent to my starting location. I mean, you've got on average 6 tiles. One of them being a hill is pretty likely. But I could imagine a place in a very flat land where this would be a big reason to move my starting settler. Okay, we got some desert, we got a harbor, some nice hills and mountains, spices, incense, tobacco, 3 luxuries. Tobacco gives faith. That's interesting. Wow, look at this tile. That's great. I need the starting hill to build my Acropolis. I think here I'm going to settle right where I am. Just the number of high yield tiles around me is looking really good. Potential Petra location. You could build the Petra on the floodplains. A lot more flat land to the west, but I can already get these 2 good tiles from my starting point. I'm going to settle right here. I'd like to get a little bit more of a glimpse of what I have immediately around me. Wow, 2 more good tiles. Oh my gosh! This is incredible. These spices in the woods on the hills are just amazing. That is the salt of Civ 5 right there. Woo! I love this. I'm going to give this one, I mean, what else could I wish for here? Nothing. This is incredible. I mean, a natural wonder. This has to be a 9 or a 9.5. It's very hard for me to imagine a better start than this. Wow. All right, let's finish it with that one. Hopefully you found this fun. I plan to do these. This is an easy video to make. I can do more if you guys like them a lot. So give me some feedback in the comments below. Let me know if you think any of my strategies are mistaken. I'm always looking to learn from you guys. I'm sure somebody who's watching is going to notice something that I missed in the settlement positions. Thanks for watching.